Crypto goes to Congress. Top executives from Wall Street, VC, and crypto firms met on Capitol Hill today to discuss the future of cryptocurrencies. Our Seema Mody joins us now with more on the story. Hey, Seema.
Melissa, that's right. Cryptocurrencies and ICOs were all the buzz today in Washington. Congressman Warren Davidson from Ohio hosted a major roundtable with roughly 50 Wall Street representatives on Capitol Hill. Topics included cryptocurrency regulation, token issuance, and a digital currency bill that Davidson plans to present to Congress this fall. Attendees included big-name venture capitalists, financial firms, and crypto exchanges, names like Andreessen Horowitz, Union Square investors, crypto finance company Circle, the NASDAQ, Fidelity. The key focus for today's meeting included finding better ways to protect consumers from crypto fraud and regulate cryptocurrencies more effectively. Participants expressed frustration at what some felt was a lack of urgency. Some worried that if the U.S. does not regulate soon, innovation could flock to other countries. In fact, some executives raised questions over whether the SEC was truly the right government agency to be regulating crypto, or whether it should be the CFTC or possibly an entirely new government organization dedicated to dealing with digital currencies. Crypto execs also complained that ICOs and instances of fraud have given the broader crypto space a bad name, and that folks in the room want to be compliant if given the chance. The meeting comes amid rising concerns from lawmakers over the woes of investing in crypto, including manipulation and funding in terrorism. Two executives in attendance today told me they hope to have their input factored in as Davidson drafts this bill, the first of its kind that could have wider implications for investing in cryptocurrencies. Melissa.
All right, Seema, thank you. Seema Mody from the New York Stock Exchange. We're joined now by Carla Carriveau, who currently serves as Senior Regulatory Counsel at Circle and participated in today's crypto roundtable in Washington. Carla, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
From Circle's specific point of view, what were you trying to get across to this panel of lawmakers today?
Absolutely. I think first, we're just thrilled to be part of Representative Davidson's roundtable and thank him, his colleagues, and his staff for bringing this issue to the forefront. We think that legislation is the right way to move and the way to move this industry in the U.S., and that's one of the reasons we created, or we're co-founders of the trade association that's the first of its kind, called the Blockchain Association, because we do think that Congress needs to step in if we want the U.S. to be competitive here. So that would be the first thing that we would advocate for. Some of the central themes of this roundtable was just that there's not clarity, and that was the reason for the title of the roundtable, which was legislating certainty in the cryptocurrency space.
From Circle's point of view, though, I mean, is your hope that you'll be able to be listed on a U.S. trading platform? I mean, what is your sort of bone in this fight?
Sure. So we operate a number of platforms, and one of those is a cryptocurrency exchange, and we have trouble figuring out if something is or is not a security. So I think right now that's our first challenge, is to get some clarity on that, because once you figure out if something is or is not a security, then you can figure out all the different rules and regulations that apply. For us, you know, and the way that I think the entire group at the roundtable today views most of these assets is they're not securities and should not be regulated with the same type of regulation that the SEC brings to the table. And so I think that was what you heard as a constant theme.
In terms of the laws that could be made, Carla, I mean, are you getting the sense, and I ask this from the standpoint of, you know, we watched the Facebook hearings, and a lot of people were appalled by the lack of knowledge of just how that platform worked. So within this sort of roundtable, did you get the sense that lawmakers really understood this? I mean, I would think that this is a much more complicated and nuanced space as opposed to understanding how the Facebook business model works. And yet we saw a very sort of perfunctory knowledge of how that worked.
I feel like the representatives that attended today had a good understanding of how blockchain technology works, and certainly how cryptocurrencies are traded. That may or may not be true for the rest of the congressional members. It's something that we need to continue to educate on.
Is that what concerns you? The lack of knowledge, or that this is a complicated space? It's hard to explain. It's not everybody's cup of tea to understand these types of things.
I think that's right. I think the lack of knowledge, and then also just right now how at least on the securities side, that the regulation doesn't fit. Even if we wanted to claim that all of these were securities, it's hard to comply because blockchain technology does not work the way that the regulations have been crafted.
All right, Carla, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Carla Carriveau of Circle. BK, all of this is being done as we speak.
Yes.
What's your greatest concern? What do you...
My greatest concern is that the U.S. loses competitiveness. I mean, I've spent the last year flying around the world, and I can just tell you the U.S. is already behind. I don't think they're fatally behind, but we are already behind. There's much more adoption going on in Asia. What I think is interesting, what you're seeing here, and what we saw from the Coinbase announcement, is that they are both struggling with the clarity around the U.S. rules. Coinbase has made the decision, you know what? We have to compete globally. We're going globally. I wouldn't be surprised to see Poloniex, which is the exchange that Circle owns, do a similar thing.